Hello and welcome to another book review. This is going to be a book review of a series. So, like many people, I loved watching Bridgerton, and as I found out that there were books, I can't just read those ones. I have to go to the start of like an author's list of books and work my way through them, which means that I started my Julia Quinn journey with the Blydon series, not the Bridgerton one. And I think if I hadn't seen Bridgerton, if I'd read these books, I probably wouldn't have continued. This is not going to be a good review video. Now, the first book in the Blydon series is Splendid, and I already have a full review video of this book up on my channel, and I'll link it up in the corner because I have nothing more to say about this book. Everything I have to say is in that video about this book. And the only reason I'm doing this review is because I want to close it off. I can't just leave it hanging, especially when it's a trilogy. I want to close it off a bit. Now, the second book is Dancing at Midnight, and out of the three, this is my favourite one. So it's 3 stars instead of 2, because I liked this book. This is set a couple of months after the events of Splendid, and we are in the point of view of Belle Blydon. And if you remember from the first video, or the first book, she is Emma's best friend. She's the one who kind of sponsors her, or her family is, and that's where Emma lives in the events of that book. But this one is from the point of view of Belle. And now that the social season has ended and winter is coming, she is spending her time out in the country at Westonbirt, which is Emma and Alex's country home. And Belle is sat under a tree reading, minding her own business, when she meets the man by the name of John Blackwood, and he lives at the next door estate. Say next door, it's like a couple of miles away. And they have a bit of a back and forth kind of banter, and she enjoys this conversation because John doesn't treat her like all the other men of the social scene do. He doesn't fawn over her. He doesn't treat her, like she's on a pedestal. He treats her as an equal. A rather dim one, but an equal. And if you remember the events of Splendid, this is only a few months after Belle was forcibly kidnapped and thrown in a room in an inn and almost forced to marry a man that she hated just because she had egged him on to set up events for Emma and Alex. So you'd think she'd be a little bit more wary of strangers. But no, she's just happily conversing with him in a field under a tree reading a book. And of course, everything has to tie together in these books because Alex, of course, knows John. She served with him in whatever war they were on about. They have another few meetings of where they banter and it's kind of flirty, all in this sort of country setting. And it's quite quickly that they fall for each other and they have their first kiss. And I think I like this book more than the other two because Belle just doesn't sit down and cry when John is having a go at her for no other reason than his own insecurities. She is quite fiery and gives it back to him, pointing out that it's his own insecurities that won't let him be happy and all this ta-da-da-da-da. But unlike the book of Splendid, the events surrounding their romance are quite dark, and I think that's why I like this one a lot more. Not only is Belle likeable and John is likeable, and you can see them getting together. Of course, it's a romance book. Of course, they're going to get together. But the events surrounding this is John keeps getting mysterious notes saying, "I know where you live," kind of thing. And he keeps having flashbacks of when he was in the war, and he keeps having flashbacks of his friend raping a 13-year-old slave waitress. And he blames himself for this because the girl kills herself afterwards, and he blames himself because he was the same rank as the guy and they were sort of commanders, and he feels that he should have had more responsibility because he knew what this guy was like. And I like the backdrop of this because the guy, Spencer, I think his name is, actually comes into play and really, really tries to ruin his life. And he's trying to push Belle away so that this guy doesn't know about her or realise how important she is to him. And of course she tells him not to be so goddamn stupid. And eventually there's a scene at the end with they're all in a ballroom and he has a gun to her head. And I quite like it. I like this book. It's an alright book, but I don't know whether I like it because I hate the other two, or if the reason for me thinking that it's so good is because the other two are just twaddle. So I think this one got 3 stars from me. So yeah, this one got 3 stars from me. I think the first one got 2. And the whole reason that I didn't really want to make a review video for this one, this is the 3rd and final one in the trilogy, and the first one is from Emma's point of view and she marries Alex, and the second one is from Belle's point of view and she marries John. This one is from a girl called Henry's point of view and she marries William Dunford. Now the problem I have with this book, not apart from the fact that it's ultimate tripe and the character of Henry is abysmal, is that the point of views we've gotten are from people we know. So in Splendid we knew Belle and we'd got to like her, and that was her point of view in this group. This takes a character that we've known for the previous 2 books, that being William Dunford. He's been a friend of the first 2 and is always sort of in their shenanigans. He's in their sort of gang, as it were. It takes him and ruins his character abysmally. It makes him into a horrible, horrible person. It's just a complete 180 of the character from the previous 2 books. It's character assassination at its finest, on behalf of a character that is dull and whiny and awful character. Henry is awful, and she's cries at the least little thing, and she wants him to love her, and then when he says that he loves her, she says, "Oh no, you don't, I'm too plain and horrible." Really? Get a grip. Even in romance books, get a fucking grip. Mills and Boone characters are better than this she is. And the whole character assassination of Dunford, I think in one scene he sexually assaults her. And putting that in there to push a narrative for a character that is not only unlikable, but tedious and awful, is just not the way to end your trilogy. Their incompatibility is glaringly obvious from the very first page, and that is not like an incompatibility that will, eventually turn into something more like most of these romance books do. They're still incompatible at the end, and they're terribly toxic together. I don't even know why she made him go with her, because it's fucking awful. So yeah, this got a 1 star from me just because I couldn't give it nothing. I hated it. Hated it with a passion, as you can probably tell. Just no. And the only reason I'm including it in this review is because if I'm doing a review of like a trilogy, I can't just leave one of the books out no matter how hard I hated and detested it. So now the negativity is over. And one thing I'm going to do this year is I spend a lot of time procrastinating in front of my bookshelves, thinking, what am I going to read next? So I have decided to, like in a romance novel, leave it up to fate to decide what I read next. So all the books on my TBR are now in this little jar, all in these little bits of paper, and I can just put my hand in and grab some out. I won't know what book it is. I will leave it up to fate to decide. But yeah, that is my review of the Blydon family trilogy from Julia Quinn. I like romance novels, and I liked at least one of these. The other one was alright, and the last was just awful. So let me know in your comments down below whether you enjoy reading romance books, whether you've had the same experience with this particular series, or with any books in general that don't really gel for you. So yeah, as always, remember to like this video, click on that subscribe button, and as always, even if the books are terrible, keep reading.